In this video, I'm going to talk to you about trade finance. From the term trade finance, I'm sure you can deduce that this is financing for trading activities. Trading activities, in simple terms, is buying and selling. A business buys a consignment of stock, which may consist of finished products, components, or raw materials. Sometimes a business uses raw materials to manufacture a product. Other times, a business may assemble a product from components. But for most businesses, it's simply a question of on-selling a finished product to their customers. Trade finance is not finance to fund overheads or to pay off a debt or another obligation, or capital to buy assets. Businesses in the first few years of trading often use unsecured lending solutions to fund trading activities, but financiers will only consider businesses with a 2 to 3 year track record for this type of funding solution. Startup businesses is unlikely to secure unsecured lending solutions, and even if a business can secure unsecured loans, the interest rate is often so high that it makes the trade unprofitable. To learn more about unsecured lending, you may want to watch the 8th installment of my new series entitled Business Finance, an Essential Entrepreneurial Skill, which you can find on YouTube. Visit Constructum Online Learning. A viable alternative to unsecured lending solutions may be purchase order finance. Purchase order finance is the most basic form of trade finance and is essentially funding to fulfill a purchase order. Let's say a trading business in the medical equipment field secures a high-value purchase order from a large hospital group, but the trading business do not have sufficient capital to procure the consignment of medical equipment from the supplier, nor has the business negotiated payment terms with its suppliers. A financier steps in and provides capital to fund the trade. The business provides the financier with the purchase order from the buyer and the supplier invoice. The financier pays the supplier directly and receives the gross sales revenue from the buyer. After deducting finance costs, the financier pays the net sales revenue to the business. Financiers specializing in this field have become very creative and offer additional services, including the facilitation of the import and export of goods, storage and logistical services, and insurance. Trade financiers vary in terms of their requirements and preferences. I find that financiers avoid certain types of trades, including trades that involve commodities like minerals and agricultural produce. Financiers simply do not have the technical expertise to assess the quality of commodities. Some time ago, a trading business wanted purchase order funding for a consignment of grade A iron ore. The trading business had a supplier in a neighboring country that could supply the iron ore. but the financier had no way of ensuring that the product complies with the grade A specification on the purchase order, and consequently declined to fund the trade for fear that the buyer would refuse to pay the purchase order if the consignment did not meet this requirement. Trade that involves the manufacture of complex products, the installation of equipment, or the construction of buildings. All these types of trades are dependent on the successful completion of work. If the trading business fails to do the work properly, the buyer will refuse payment of the purchase order. Financiers refer to this as performance risk. Trades that involve unknown products or suspicious suppliers. If a trading business presents a supplier invoice for Dell laptop computers, financiers will be happy to consider the application. Dell has a good reputation in the marketplace. But if a trading business presents a supplier invoice from a solar equipment provider located in Asia, financiers will be very wary indeed. Trades that involve suspicious buyers. A purchase order from a large blue chip company or a well-known business with a good reputation is very welcome. But a purchase order from an unknown entity, local municipality, government-owned business with some exceptions, or from government is met with suspicion. Traditionally, financiers charge a finance cost in the form of interest on the loan over the term of the trade. The interest rates, though high, compare very well with rates associated with unsecured lending solutions. Recently, specialist financiers offer an alternative solution, a profit share type of solution, which on the face of it seems to be a viable option. I do find, however, that some of these providers demand such a large proportion of the gross profit that I have to wonder if this type of solution is worth it. Purchase order finance is a great solution for a startup business with little or no financial track record, provided that the trade involves a reputable supplier, a product, preferably a finished product and a product that financiers can have faith in, and a reputable buyer. If you run a trading business and need advice on purchase order finance, or you want to consider alternative funding solutions, you may contact me directly. My contact details will appear at the end of this video. If you're on LinkedIn, why not connect with me and message me directly? Invoice discounting is a type of trade finance solution for a trading business with an established debtors book of reputable buyers. Large blue chip buyers often insist on payment terms. A large buyer may, for instance, pay 30 days after delivery of the consignment. This delay may represent a real challenge for the trading business, especially if their suppliers demand upfront payment from the trading business before releasing the consignment. The problem can be further exacerbated if the trade runs over a prolonged period of time. All of this puts a heavy burden on the cash flow of the trading business. A local trading business may procure medical equipment from Europe. The stock is transported by ship over a 3-week period before arriving at the local port. Another week goes by for the consignment to clear customs and arrive at the warehouse of the trading business. Then, after delivery of the product to the corporate buyer, the trading business must wait another 30 days before receiving payment. A trade duration of 180 days is not uncommon. Inclement weather, criminal activities, accidents, and geopolitical developments may cause further delays. Invoice discounting may present a solution that the cash flow difficulties of a complex and prolonged trade duration represents. Let's say a trading business has 5 key accounts. Financiers assess the financial track record and reputation of these debtors, which is easier to do than it might appear, since most large blue-chip buyers are listed entities that publish their financial results annually. The financiers conclude that debtor A and B represents a low risk of defaulting on payments. Debtor C a somewhat higher risk, and debtor D and E a medium level of risk. Consequently, the financiers offer a discount rate of 100% for debtors A and B, 90% for debtor C, and 80% for debtor D and E. When the trading business receives a purchase order from any of these debtors, the financier provides funding equal to the discount rate. For example, the trading business receives a purchase order from debtor C to the value of 1 million rand, and the financier provides capital to the trading business equal to 90% the applicable discount rate, resulting in funding of 900,000 rand. The trading business may use this capital for any purpose. It may use the money to procure stock, to pay for logistical services, or even provide for overheads. A multitude of trades may run concurrently, but financiers will limit the total value of the facility and may also impose limitations to the total exposure of the facility to individual debtors. Invoice discounting is a great solution for a trading business with a prolonged and complex trade cycle. The benefits of this solution include certainty. The business can plan its trading activities well in advance, since it knows at the outset the total value of its trade finance facility and the discount rates applicable to each of its debtors. Assurance of profitability. Since the trading business knows the rate of finance and can estimate the total duration of individual trades, the total cost of finance can be accurately estimated and the profitability of the trade assessed at the outset. Supplier leverage. The trading business secures access to surplus capital, in most cases more money than what it needs to fulfill the purchase order, making it possible for the business to procure larger quantities of stock from suppliers. Suppliers, like any other business, seeks ways to move more product and will be increasingly open to negotiate better prices and payment terms. Accelerating growth. Using invoice discounting as funding mechanism has been instrumental in facilitating a transition from organic to accelerated growth for many trading businesses. To secure an invoice discounting facility, a trading business must have a track record spanning 3 to 4 years of good financial results. The business must use reputable suppliers, preferably trade in finished products, and have an established base of reputable corporate buyers. In addition, financiers are really wanting to do business with highly skilled, competent people. Most trading businesses start by growing organically, using founders' capital, unsecured lending solutions, and other funding solutions in the early stages of growing their business. To successfully transition from an organic growth strategy to an accelerated growth strategy, the business must focus on 3 things: growing sales, effectively converting sales into sales revenue, and managing cash flow effectively. A trading business that consistently generates sufficient cash flow surpluses to fund overheads and to provide for trading activities will soon attract the attention of trade financiers. If you are a trading business and you need help to devise an effective funding strategy for your business, you may contact me directly. My contact details will appear at the end of this video. If you want to learn more about business finance, if you want to upskill yourself, why not visit Constructum Online Learning on YouTube for cost-free access to content like this video. Thank you for watching and all the best with your business.